Hey everyone, welcome to a movie of the month, the first one in 2010. I know I haven't done these in a while, and I apologize. I've been doing other things, doing other videos, and taking care of some personal family matters, if you will. But I figured I'd start off the new year with bringing this series back. And the movie I want to talk about, and I'm pretty sure some of you have probably seen already, and if you've not seen it, I suggest you go and see it. And that's Left Behind, the movie. Now, it's not just the Left Behind movie, I'm talking about all three Left Behinds as well. You got to see all three of them, they're really good. Basically, if you don't know what Left Behind is, it's based on the best-selling novel of the same name. The people that wrote the novel, I think the names are in here somewhere. Well, it's in here somewhere. Well, maybe it's not, but it is a novel series. It's a best-selling novel. And basically, it's basically, the novel and the movie it's based on, basically talks about, well, the rapture. The focus is the rapture, but it kind of focuses on a lot of things that when you read Revelations in the Bible, it gives you, sort of shows you in this movie and in the next two movies, what's going to be happening when the rapture occurs and then what takes place afterwards. But basically, the characters in this movie, played by Kirk Cameron, Brad Johnson, Chelsea Noble, and Clarence Gillard, are the main characters. Basically, Kirk Cameron's character is named Buck. And Buck is a star reporter for, I think, GAN News or something like that, sort of like a CNN news deal. And he is the one that captured the first footage of the first signs of the rapture. Basically, he's looking at the attack from on Israel from enemies from the north and being prevented by God and all that, and the prevention that God does, and then by protecting the city or the country. And basically, that's the first signs, and then he encounters this mysterious person who obviously has to be an angel, I guess, speaking to him in English, and he films it, but when he goes and tries to show it to his people back at his work, it's in Hebrew, so go figure. Anyway, make a long story short, basically what happens next is the rapture, and then is the rapture, and the next thing we focus on is a family. It's the family of Radford Steele, played by Brad Johnson, and his family is very Christian-oriented, except for his daughter. Him and his daughter are not, don't see, see in the same views as his mom does, as his mom and his brother do, or his mom and his son. It's his wife and his son. You get the idea. They don't share the same views. If you don't share them or see them in the same way. Also the fact that he is sort of having an affair with a flight attendant played by Chelsea Noble, who in real life is Kirk Cameron's wife. So what happens is that during the flight, a lot of the passengers, a majority of the passengers on the flight that Chelsea is doing the attending for, and Ray and Brad is doing the piloting, a majority of the people there, the passengers, start disappearing. And a lot of people are wondering, what's going on? What's happening? He was just right here, what's going on? It's like, poof! They don't know what's going on. It's like they turn their head for 1 second, they turn around, nothing's left but their clothes. What's going on? And here's the one thing I like about it. Every person that's disappeared, it's like every other person that's disappeared, it's like every other piece of clothing that's left behind has the cross on it. So it kind of gives you an idea that these are the people that have been raptured. And also you hear like young parents and screaming and fearing because the babies, the young children are poof gone. Anyway, what happens is Buck, as Ray finds out later on, as he goes back home to find out that his wife and his son are both gone. They've both been in the same predicament. His daughter ends up driving into a chaotic area. Buck is at the Chicago airport and seeing everybody just, just scared to death. Saturn, you have people, in fact, there's one couple, you can see it in the music video they have here on YouTube. One couple just kneeling at the stroller where the baby was, because the baby's not there anymore. And you also see like some animals kind of saddened because they're wandering around, and all saddened because the masters are gone and things like that. And it's just an unbelievable movie. It makes you really think. And in the end, and they even have a pastor. I can't think who he's being played by, who obviously is left behind because he didn't really truly believe. I mean, he preached the word and everything, but he really didn't truly believe in what he was preaching. Until finally he realizes that until finally everything happens, and he's the only one that, despite the fact that he probably didn't truly believe what he was preaching, or was only in it for himself, realizes that everything that's taken place is because of the rapture. And then he goes on to tell Raymond, not Raymond, Raylord, or Brad Johnson anyway, show him a video of Pastor Billingsley. And Pastor Billingsley basically is telling everybody, what's going on. And this is years before this takes place, 3 years before this takes place. Kind of letting everybody know, hey, don't be afraid, don't worry, your loved ones they're safe, they're with the Lord, they're in heaven, your children, your grandparents, your wives, your husbands, your nephews, your nieces, basically anybody that's disappeared that you don't know what happened to is with the Lord right now. So what happens is later on, Brad Johnson has to convince his daughter in this movie of what's going on, and she's a little skeptical. She's like, no, it can't be true. It's not that way. It's no way. Until finally she comes to terms like, okay, maybe you do have a point. Maybe they did get raptured, but why not us? And of course, Kirk Cameron's character is a little skeptical because all his friends are like getting killed off. And one of the friends has some kind of information with codes, but he finds out later on, with the help of Brad Johnson, the pastor, and the daughter, that these codes are Bible verses, and they're all about the rapture, about what's going to happen, about the temple being rebuilt in Jerusalem, about the Antichrist, saying that he is God and sitting on the throne in the temple, all that. And later on, when he finally comes to terms to believe that, he's sort of given a gift, I guess you could say, to where he could see the truth. And he sees the main character, which no one would suspect at first when you watch the movie, called Nikolai, to being the Antichrist, because you look through him when you see, and Brad Johnson's also given this gift later on in the second film. He looks at him and you see nothing but hollowness, and it's really weird. And he's the only one, towards the end of the film, that knows what really happened to two men that Nikolai was, I guess, doing business with. So, but anyway, I don't want to give much away. And this continues on in the second film and in the third film. And in the third film, you have Louis Gossett Jr. in there as the president. And in the second film, you just have a continuation of the first film, and then you have it finalized into the third. And overall, it is a great film. It's a great film series. I haven't read the book series, but if the book series is just as good on what the movies are based upon about it, I definitely suggest go check it out, watch it, read the books, but definitely, if you can't read the books, watch this movie, watch the next two. The next two are Tribulation Force and Word at War. You'll enjoy them. They're really entertaining. They really make you think. And it's really, I highly recommend them as the movie of the month for January 2010, whatever you want to call it. And that's all I'm going to say. I hope you enjoyed this movie of the month edition, the first of the year. And I'll talk to you all later. God bless.